Welcome to Staples.
Hi, Staples guy. I need school supplies for my kids, and I can't spend a lot.
With Staples' 110% price match guarantee for back to school, find an item for less, and we'll match the price and give you 10% of the difference.
So I'll get the lowest price on backpacks?
Yes.
Notebooks?
Mm-hmm.
Calculators?
You bet.
Even...
Yep.
Nice.
Make low prices happen. Make 110% ready happen. Staples. Make more happen.
Price match plus the 10% difference discount valid at checkout for items from retailers operating online and retail stores or products sold and shipped by Amazon. Valid through 9/19/15. See store or staples.com for details.
Blog Talk Radio.
First World Order Radio. Finally. First World Order Radio, finally, we are on the air, no doubt. All right.
There's always going to be somebody in the building on First World Order Radio.
We get on into some of that order consciousness tonight.
First World Order Radio every Wednesday, 8 p.m.
We got to talk about what is taking place on the planet.
There's always going to be somebody in the building on First World Order Radio. First, we need to let you know we're going to be doing more shows, giving out more information on Wednesdays. Wednesday at 8 o'clock, we are now going to make this the hottest day of the week.
Preceding others in time, order, importance. The most prominent parts, voices, or instruments. Earthly state of human concerns in existence. An indefinite multitude, quantity, or distance. System regulates to bring about specifics in the root based on value and natural characteristics. Current radiates electromagnetistics of sound through the air, same as your thoughts transmits it. Preceding others in time, order, importance. The most prominent parts, voices, or instruments. Earthly state of human concerns in existence. An indefinite multitude, quantity, or distance. System regulates to bring about specifics in the root based on value and natural characteristics. Current radiates electromagnetistics of sound through the air, same as your thoughts transmits it.
You need to understand how magic something like this every Wednesday can become. So you need to start getting your calendar right, get your schedule right. You need to know our intentions straight out.
All right, so these clues are given throughout the various languages was to piece the puzzle of this ancient mystery school back together again.
And what we plan on doing, both of us, is bringing y'all some surefire dynamite. We're going to take this level up a notch. We're going to have stuff to do here. This is not just going to be about philosophy and theories, shit that works.
You have an activated pineal gland which that produced this black chemical called melanin.
What we did was gave a hard line in the sand between the different definitions of esoteric study and exoteric study. Playtime is over.
I don't need to be a dope boy, my poetry is dope enough. Trapping interstellar while my third eye open up. See through all the lies that y'all telling with a straight face. Return of the luminous ones. Y'all better make way to find a chapter. Find a collapse on all you politicians. They politicking how to lead a world about the pissing. The way I think is more deep and in the Grand Canyon. I guarantee this black man would be the man standing. My premonition matched the calendar. It's always accurate like a lightweight challenger. For all you wicked witches and the Wizard of Oz, you and that man behind the curtain, yeah, y'all fixing to fall. Only a matter of time before shit hit the fan. Here's an idiot's guide for you on how to get a man. I don't need a bunch of homies to ride or die with me. I can call on Hey Roo to fly the skies with me. We going through the transition and that's all she wrote. Put on my uncle, gave my Jesus peace back to the Pope. Came back for ancient times to bring heaven on earth. I was the last golden child that returned to the birth. We going through the transition and that's all she wrote. Put on my uncle, gave my Jesus peace back to the Pope. Came back for ancient times to bring heaven on earth. I was the last golden child that returned to his birth. When I'm riding on this city streets, never really miss a beat. To the point of no return, unless I turn another cheek. Catch me on my dating box, smooth as I wanna be. Just being me, never chilling with the wannabes. God in the flesh, dated bad since Atlantis. Because my history is more than they can understand it. My melanated skin, starburst from the astro. I'm made of dark energy created from black holes. Know thyself, the only one you can lean on. I got some scoop bush that y'all can break y'all weed on. Our here's Martin Luther King and slave ships. But what about the underwater cities and spaceships? My mystical mind, we had the government covering. But if the OMATIP will fly away like a mothership, we're African people, we're the real Anunnaki, wearing feathers on their heads, just a few feet taller than me. Through the transition and that's all she wrote. Put on my uncle, gave my Jesus peace back to the Pope. Came back for ancient times to bring heaven on earth. I was the last golden child that returned to his birth. We going through the transition and that's all she wrote. Put on my uncle, gave my Jesus peace back to the Pope. Came back for ancient times to bring heaven on earth. I was the last golden child that returned to his birth. Yo, don't look at me the same, I ain't nothing like I used to be. Upgraded daily through the lies and all the foolery. My dream became lucid, I travel back in time, collecting life data for my subconscious mind. That father let me know that anything is possible by pulling down the universe through my crown chakra. Manipulate the energy is all an illusion. Knowing who you are kills all the confusion. Why 85% judge off my appearance? I use alchemy to create the world potential. My lyrics turn divas right back at the queens. Why dope boys are think twice appearing back on the scene. Everybody gone mad, blaming media outlet. The new black Hollywood chosen straight out of projects. Bobo agenda war, sucking up to the master. While the whole community going up in disaster. We going through the transition and that's all she wrote. Put on my uncle, gave my Jesus peace back to the Pope. Came back for ancient times to bring heaven on earth. I was the last golden child that returned to the birth. We going through the transition and that's all she wrote. Put on my uncle, gave my Jesus peace back to the Pope. Came back for ancient times to bring heaven on earth. I was the last golden child that returned to his birth.
All around the production.
Really say this the gift and the message. My music is a weapon when I use it on the reckless. Spaceship hovering throughout the whole region. Open up the sky and take the shortcut to Venus. Getting on my level, it's a hard pill to swallow. Like comparing your religion to it if the earth is hollow. No need to cry there and let it soak in your tomorrows. Let my music soak up all your bittersweet and sorrows. See the sun shining, I lay back and kick it. Staying sucker free is my new way of living. One day we get together, then we all start building. But the ball that I dribble got me posting like Pippin. Champagne glasses around my organite pyramid. Glazing at the stars, show the kids where we really live. These solar flares got my DNA 12 stranded. Collect the kill trends and feed it to the men spraying. Wash the tall moors. Some of us we been here to reunite the others and cool the world with wind chills. I put rap to the back for a good reason. 2012, 21 was a good season. Fake people get exposed just for who they are. Keep playing traffic in a highway with moving cars. My flow bring the fear of God to these modern rappers. They crawling backwards, kicking men in chest and hard to tackle. Ever since the kid went galactic, my center bracket reached the top and interacted with my solar status. The microphone to grab it, I guess it's just a habit. A living legend in your presence, sorta like the Mavericks. It ain't about me, nah, but it's about the future. A golden race is on and dealing with the cockadoodles. I sock it to you like a Grammy and your mama used to. The final stage I ride away just like it's Honolulu. I prove my old school, but since I stayed there, galactic conscious awareness, I got my grades there. See with the eye of Hebrew, no longer bending knees. My inner chiefs are in me when it's time to leave. This modern day crap, I don't even follow it. I'd rather symbolize my name up in the hieroglyphs. Declare peace without Battlestar Galactica. Footstepping backwards on my way back to Africa. The Washita Moors, some of us we've been here to reunite the others, to cool the world with wind chills. I put rap to the back for a good reason. 2012-21 was a good season. Fake people get exposed just for who they are. Keep playing traffic in a highway with moving cars. My flow bring the fear of God to the modern rappers. They crawling backwards, kicking men in chest and hard attack and Washita Moors. Some of us we've been here to reunite the others, to cool the world with wind chills. I put rap to the back for a good reason. 2012-21 was a good season. Fake people get exposed just for who they are. Keep playing traffic in a highway with moving cars. My flow bring the fear of God to the modern rappers. They crawling backwards, kicking men in chest and hard attack them.
Peace. Once again with your host, Dr. El-Bey, and you here on First World Radio, no doubt, the best world listening sound. In other words, when you come here, you get the knowledge that you need in order to go out into the world, in which that basically you have to fight for blood, sweat, and tears just to get what you want. But at least we give you the solutions and the answers in which that can help you manifest something higher. All right, so that's what we'll be doing tonight. We'll be getting into the topic. Remember now what this topic is. What is hell and heaven? Its true meanings and manifestations. Now, this came about based on a discussion that I had with Brother John Hayes. He stated that maybe or rather come to a place to embrace the lower aspect of myself. It just seems this hell we are born into, all of this outer manifestations, is nothing more than the realization of hell itself. The material world deems to be the demonic manifestation of our beast nature, the place of survival only to die. But is the lower nature supposed to be eradicated? I don't think so. It seems that the demon is indeed an aspect of who we are, but it has to be realized. It's a battle of sorts to stand in the middle way. Now, the brother got deep. All right, the brother got deep. And for those that's listening, appreciate what we get ready to drop tonight, because he gave us the segue in order into this discussion. All right, now. All right, Brother L. I don't know if you have your Holy Cross Circle 7 tonight. I know you here, Brother L.
Oh, yeah.
AIT Washington. I want to get you on here so that you can drop on the Holy Quran Circle 7, where it speaks about the lower self and the higher self, or this battle or this dualistic aspect of oneself, and that this is the divine aspect in which that forms or manifests is referred to as heaven and hell. But first, it starts internally, and it's a projection outernally, or outward manifestation. So if you can get your Holy Quran Circle 7, and I'm going to try to pull up some information. Yeah, I'm going to try to pull up some information.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. And so as Brother L getting that, we want to make sure that y'all get this knowledge for the night. All right. So for those that need to call in, we will be having calls. So y'all can call in at 626-414-3535. That's 626-414-3535. And also what we want you to do is come to our event, September the 18th, 19th, and 20th. That's approximately almost a month away. We need for you to be here on the land so that y'all can get some of this information live, up close and personal. So that's September the 18th, 19th, and 20th. All right, we will be discussing metaphysics, occult teachings, esoteric sciences, herbal healing, health as far as how to maintain your health through Qigong, Tai Chi, Reiki, pranic healing, all the energy modalities. We'll go into heritage, history, and all types of good stuff. So for those interested, give us a call at 910-364-9099, 910-364-9099, or hit me up on my Gmail account, which is dralim El-Bey.com. That's DRALIM ELBEY at gmail.com. All right. And also go to our website, dralim-El-Bey.com, and you can go to calendar of events or upcoming events and go there in order to see the flyer for this event so that y'all are up on what's getting ready to happen. All right? We need your support. This is going to be something in which that is phenomenal. We always do it. All right? Y'all need to start talking to those who have been here over the last 2 years and see the excellent job that we've been doing here on our land. All right? All right, so you definitely need to come here to check that out. Brother L, you have anything? Speak about your newsletters that you have, and
yes.
Before we get into the discussion tonight.
Yes, my newsletters got two. I sent two to you, but they'll probably arrive tomorrow. They'll not later than Friday, but they're about dealing with the esoteric science of the Moors, dealing with religion, dealing with law, Admiralty maritime law, about birth, about being the BIRTH birth and the BERTH birth. They're both one and the same. As dealing with a woman having a baby and a ship coming in to dock. They all based on the same thing, dealing with maritime law. The other one is about dealing with a little bit about Hebrew and Judaism. That's also more science. A lot of people don't know. And the one I'm currently on now is about the Hebrew, Mayans, and Druids, which I'll be through Saturday. It's going out. And I'm also sending pictures of the new shirts I've been wearing, been making, mostly for maybe the Washita Moors might want to get them some shirts made like that, So these are things I'm currently doing right now. And I'm also working with Brother Abdullah El-Bey from New Jersey. He's bringing his book out, Moors and Masonry. He's supposed to get here next year at in the St. Louis area, in Springfield, Missouri, to be exactly, about in next summer. So I'm supposed to be getting up with him, spreading the word, and dealing with Masonry and all the Prince Hall Masons and other brothers in the Masonic fraternities across the country. So getting with institutions and trying to get some numbers here. This is what I'm up. This is what I'm doing.
All right, that's excellent, Brother L. You know what I'm saying? Much grace and bliss towards that work, and so so it manifests even greater heights. You spoke about Brother Abdullah. I know he has a newspaper out too. Tell people about that.
Yes, he has the what you call the Masonic Gate, and also he's starting on a new paper called the Christian Light, which most of the so-called Christian Asiatic people would really be interested in, because he's dealing with more with an esoteric view. And also the Masonic Gate, he had really recently put all the papers on hiatus right now because he's been pretty busy working on his book, More Than Masonry. So that from the last time I talked to him, he's about to get ready for that to be published maybe in September. So then he'll start back on the newspapers, and then we be getting those back out again, and also papers about the Eastern Star.
Indeed. All right, so let's get into the discussion for tonight. We talking about heaven and hell and its manifestations, essentially. When we speak of heaven actually, in its English transliteration, is connected to the word haven, which symbolizes a safe place. They both have its roots in ancient Kemet, or what is referred to as Tamaray or Tamari, in the Metu Neter, in which that the word anu or on means up there, or in particular light or sun. All right, and the sun is a star. Now, you get the book called Gerald Massey's Lectures, and you go to page 220 down. It is quite possible and even apparent that the first form of the mystical seven was seen to be the figure in heaven by the seven large stars of the Great Bear, the constellation assigned by the Egyptians to the mother of time and of the seven elemental powers. All right, the Egyptians' future use one that cannot get rid or out of. The Egyptians divide the face of the sky by night into seven parts. The primary heaven was sevenfold. The earliest form recognized in nature was reckoned as seven in nature. These being seven elements, devils or later divinities, seven proprieties was assigned to nature, or properties was assigned to nature as matter, cohesion, fluxion, coagulation, accumulation, station, and division. And the seven elements are souls to man. A principle of the sevening, so to say, was introduced, and the number seven supplied a sacred type that could be used for manifold future purposes. Sevening was then a recognizing mode of swearing, and sevening is still a recognized mode of swearing with the esoteric Buddhists. The seven souls of the pharaoh are often mentioned in the Egyptian text. All right. The moon god Tahuti and the later sun god Ra expressed the seven nature power that was prior to himself and was summed up in him as his seven souls, of which he was the manifestator as the eighth one. Right? This represents his seven powers, principles, breaths, or souls. The seven rays of the Chaldean Hapatakit, or Ayo, which is a form of Tahuti, or Hippocrates, which is Heru and Tahuti together, which is Heru Kahuti. On the Gnostic stone indicates the seven souls. The seven stars in the right hand of Christ in Revelations also have the same significance. This is a star with 8 rays, which is found to be the symbol of Buddhism, or of Buddha, of the Asir in Assyria, of Mithra, and of the Christ in the catacombs of Rome. It was the symbol of the Gnostics, of the 7 souls, the perfect flower or star in which that was the Christ of the Gnostics. All right, this can be traced back to Egypt as the star of Sut-Heru. All right, a very ancient form of the 8-rayed star was a sign of Nun. All right, the associate god of Egypt, who was the 7 Ali or Ari, or companions of the children of the Great Mother. All right, so it goes on and says the 7 souls of principles in man was identified by the Druids. All right, but in the Hebrew, in the Kabbalah, they recognize a 3-fold soul, which is Nefesh, Ruach, and Neshama. The Nefesh is the breath of life, the anima, from the Egyptian nef, for the breath. This is the quickening spirit of the embryo. The Ruach is said to enter at the age of 13 years and 1 day. Of course, that symbolizes the bar mitzvah of becoming a man. Of course, we understand that upon the first breath, the Ruach actually enters into the body. But they're talking about the manifestation or the activation of it. This is the soul and its adultship. The reproduction spirit reproduce for reproduction at puberty. The third spirit, or Neshama, is an intelligent soul which enters a man at 20 years of age if the deeds of his life are right. If not, he is unworthy of the Neshama, and the Nefesh and Ruach remains his only 2 souls. All right. Now that's the concept. It goes on that the third soul is able to go forth and hold spirit intercourse, leaving the body as an inert condition. This is the soul that can assume other shapes by the art of Melipa, or the Gnostics of transformation. The 4th soul is restored to the good deity, Bora, and they attain immortality. Here is another instance. There is an ascending series. All right, and it goes up into 7. All right, so within the majority of those in which that understand Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, they always speak of the 7 heavens and the 7 hells. But they also speak of these 7 heavens and 7 hells first within man, or within humanity. All right, now, where is it located at? Well, based on the book, the Ankh, written by Nur Ankh Amen, Introduction to Behiru Shemaj, the husband of Queen Afua. In the book, Nur Ankh Amen states that the heaven in which that Christians, Muslims, and Jews speaks about, which is external of themselves, is actually within the ionosphere. All right, which is the first station. All right, some would say that is the astral plane, or the dream world, in which that you are able to communicate with your ancestors while still here in the physical, as well as where you go at once the cord, or the civil cord or ecclesiastical cord is cut. All right, it's called the ecclesiastical cord because in the book of Ecclesiastes it speaks about the civil cord. All right, or etheric cord, but it says the word astral is derived from the Greek word astron, which means of the stars. The word was originally used to refer to the abode of the gods within the Greek, or Minoan, or what we also refer to as the Cretans. But its meaning later grew to include other entities in other planes. The ancients believed that the astral world was the place populated by ethereal beings and angels, which of course angels is nothing more than the Hebrew terminology for the African ancestors, belonging to the higher hierarchy. Eventually, the term astral or astral plane became identified with the occult sciences and currently is considered a mysterious zone, cosmic zone in particular, as it is says to exist beyond our normal senses and our material perception. All right. Now, there's a good book that people can get. It's by What Happens After Death by McGean Gonzalez Whippler. All right. What Happens After Death and Scientific and Personal Evidence for Survival After Death. She got some of her information from the Astral World and Scenes, Dwellers, and Phenomena, written by Swami Pachad Asi. All right. This is the true occult knowledge gives you practical power and strength. This is the Astral World book. All right. In which that he goes and he states that every student of the occultism, from the humblest beginner to the most advanced pupil, has a full realization of the wonders of this strange plane of being known as the astral world. All right. Now, of course, the beginner just have glimpses and once in a while episodes of paranormal activities on which that takes place within the dream world. All right. Oftentimes they can't explain it. All right. But even in the oldest occult teachings, as well as the latest, it informs the student that there are 7 planes of being. The lowest of the planes is that which is the third is that which is known as the astral plane, which is the emotional plane. The fourth is that which is known as the mental plane. Then you have the causal plane, the spiritual plane, and the soul plane. But those 3 normally is beyond the occultist. You know, the average occultist. You know, I should say neophyte. It's not until you reach the adept occultist level, in which that you begin to start understanding those planes also. All right, so it goes on to say, in the same regard, about how the word astral is broken down. All right, it says here, the term astral is derived from the Greek word meaning related to a star, and was originally used to describe the heavens of the Greeks, the abode of their gods. All right. Now, it goes on further to say that you have to understand what this is. This is what it explains a little bit further. It says, a teacher often finds himself confused by the mention of regions of the astral plane and frequently find himself thinking of them in the sense of the heavens and hells of the old theology as define a place in space. But these astral regions are nothing more than the vibratorial manifestations of the astral plane, which has no special reference to any set aside portion of space, which manifestation may or do occur at almost any point of space. The astral regions occupy the same space as the material region. Neither interferes with the other because we find out that they're superimposed upon each other. More from a analytical state, you have to understand that it's referring to the 7 heavens would be what we refer to within the, I guess you could say, Rosicrucian teachings, the 7 worlds. Right? You have the world of God, which consists of the 7 regions. You have the world of virgin spirits. The world consists of 7 regions as the abode of the virgin spirits, where they have been differentiated into God before the pilgrimage through matter, all right, or the vehicles of man. Then you have the world of divine spirit, consists of the 7 regions, and basically is the abode of the highest spiritual influence in man. That's what we call the divine spirit. Then you have the world of life spirit, which consists of 7 regions and is the abode of the second aspect of the threefold spirit in man. This is what we just talked about, that the Nephish, the Ruach, and the Nephimah. That is what we just talked about from the Hebrew or Jewish tradition of belief. That's talking about the life spirit. All right. And then you have world of thought, which is the region of abstract thought, and it has 7 regions, which contains the germinal idea of form in material, plant, animals, and man. The 6th region of that region contains the germinal idea of life in plants, animal, and man. And then the 5th region contains the germinal idea of desire and emotions in animals and man, and is the abode of the 3rd aspect of spirit and man. Right? Then under that you have the region of concrete thought. Both of them is part of the world of thought, but the concrete thought now has the 4th region, which is contains the archetype force of the human mind. All right, it's the I guess you can say the focusing point through which that the spirit mirrors itself in matter. This is the ionosphere at this particular point of what we are referring to. All right, which is mentioned within the Ankh book. Just keep all this in mind as I continue on. It's going to make some sense here. Then the 3rd region is the archetype of desire and emotions. The 2nd region is the archetype of universal vitality. This is where we draw down our chi or prana or ki energy from the 1st region archetype of form. All right. Now understand what we're talking about. All right. Now, then you have the desire world, which has the 7 regions of soul power. The 6th region is soul light. The 5th region is soul life, which is part of the attraction aspect. All right. This is when you get the yin. All right. The 4th region feeling is the interest or the indifference, which is like the inertia point in between the yin and the yang. And then the 3rd region wishes. The 2nd region impressionability. The 1st region is passion and low desire, which is repulsion. So that's the yin and yang principle in between there. That is what you see in the Chinese principle of the circle, and in between is the serpent coming up to separate the world. So actually the interest and the indifference, which is the 4th region, symbolizes the Kundalini aspect in one regard, which is the part of the desire body or the desire world. Now, this is all Rosicrucian teachings now. I'm just trying to give you the understanding of this. All right, then you have the personality as it comes into the physical world, which is now you dealing with the etheric region. You have the 7th region, which is the reflecting ether, which is mental ether, or which is memory of nature, which symbolizes the place where you are able to gather immortality to begin your journey. It is also the abode of your universal consciousness, or what's called your life consciousness, which is also referred to as your medulla oblongata, which is where your past lives are stored, as well as also your photographic memory, if you begin to start using that to a greater level. And that's all in the 7th region of the reflecting ether or memory of nature. Right? This is what happens. This is what is called your Ba. All right, within the ancient Kemetic teachings. All right, then you have the 6th region, which is light ether, which is the medium of sense of perception. This is your Ka, which is your spirit. So Ba is soul, Ka is spirit. The 5th region is life ether, which is the medium for propagation, which is referred to as your Aku. These are the 3 bodies that survive death. Your 3 etheric or vital bodies that survive death. All right. The 4th is the region, chemical ether, which is the medium for assimilation and excretion. That is symbolic to the heart chakra. Then you have the 3rd region, which is gas. second region, which is liquid, the first region, which is solid. So when we speak about solid, liquid, and gas, we believe that that's the only part of the physical world or region there is. But you have the etheric region, which is part of the physical region also, which people don't understand, which you absorb prana energy down from, particularly from the second region archetype of universal vitality, which is the concrete thought, down into the desired world, down into your vital body, which is your etheric body. All right, your desired body is your astral body, which is your emotional body. All right, so as you heard me, I spoke about each of the 7 worlds or heavens and the 7 impressions upon each other. They actually superimpose upon each other. So really, we spoke about 49. All right, because 7 times 7 is 49. All right, subterranean worlds, as we would say. So the physical matter is the lowest plane of existence. And the ancient Gnostics or Essenes teach that the human body is the prison for the soul. Or in other words, the soul is entrapped or incarnated or imprisoned in the physical body. However, only temporarily. It is he who creates everything on earth for you and then directs his attention up to heaven and arrange it into 7 regular heavens. He has knowledge of all things. This is from the Holy Quran, the 2nd chapter, which is called Baqarah, which is the cow, the 29th ayah. Then he turns to heaven when it was smoke. In 2 days, he determined them as 7 heavens and revealed in every heaven his mandate. Now, this is the Holy Quran again, the 41st surah and the 12th ayat. So the words heavens, which appears in many verses in the Quran, is used to refer to the sky above the earth, as well as to the entire universe and within you, known as your 7 chakras or shankaras. Now, given this meaning of the word, it seems that the earth, sky, or the atmosphere is made up of 7 layers. Now, y'all can go and check your damn geography books. All right, you have the troposphere, which is the biosphere, which is the lower region. That's what we live on. You have the ozone sphere. All right, you have the stratosphere. You have the mesosphere, and you have the thermosphere and the ionosphere, which is part of the magnetosphere, which extends 30 to 250 miles up, which is about 50 to 400 kilometers. And then you have the exosphere, which where the Van Allen belt is. These are the 7 layers acting as a prison or prism, all right, which is the heavens or matrix in which that we live in, which melanin acts as a black hole to absorb and conduct and transfer all sound, electrical, magnetic, light, heat, radiation, waves, and the frequencies. All right? So, ether is the classical word for the upper atmosphere, as the substance filling all space, inclusive of the volumes occupied by ordinary matter, and serving to transmit those forces, which is gravitational energy, electrical energy, magnetic energy, which actually is one material object exerted on another located at a distance. This is what we just finished talking about. So in the Western occult traditions, the ether is described as the innermost of the 7 bands around the earth, penetrating deep into the planet and reaching to a certain height into the atmosphere, as we just talked about. According to the ancient Hindu philosophy and cosmology, Akasha is one of the names in which that it is in fact one of the 7 recognized states of consciousness or states of matter. All right. So whereas we in the West perceive and recognize matter in 3 forms, which is solid, liquid, and gases, as we just spoke about, the ancient Hindu writers states emphatically that there is also ether or Akasha, and that there is not merely one form of ether, but 4 different levels of it, as we spoke about just now and broke it down for you, thus giving you a total of 7 levels on which existence is possible. All right? And the sun fuels all of that.
Yes.
The physical plane is where we dwell currently. Out of body is the etheric plane. Higher than the etheric plane is the lower astral emotional plane, also called the plane of force, is the astral plane. Then you have the higher emotional plane. Above that is the mental plane. And at certain unseen levels, the planes become so expansive that it is interplanetary. Thus, would be the causal, next the spiritual, and finally the most fine body, which is the soul, which is God. With the soul body, one can travel the universe. Okay, this is what we're talking about here. All right, now you can make that into your heaven, or you can make that into your hell. Your choice.
Exactly.
That's your choice. If you take with you after you leave this physical form, and that cord is cut, which is called your etheric or silver cord, and you leave here with the frustration, guilt, anger, hatred, fear, jealousy, envy, hatred, shit. You just leave with everything, then that will produce for you your hell. One of the best movies, as I always talk about, is What Dreams May Come, Robin Williams, Cuba Gooding Jr. Go and watch this movie. That's the best film to ever be produced to show you what we're talking about. All right? So these 7 planes or atmospheres or heavens or density levels or cosmic zones, realms, dimensions, they're all talking about actually the seats or the vital centers called the seats or your chakras, the seats of light, CHAKRAS, which in man there's 7 seats or chakras. Some has 9, some have 12 that they're developing, but the masses have 7. And these 7 seats of man are related to the 7 physical senses, which are in tune with the 7 heavens. All right? Within your physical body, you have the crown chakra, which is the mental force field of your pineal gland, which has your pineal gland, looks like a pine cone, also shaped like the head of your pineal gland, which is the head of your phallus on your penis for the brothers. For the sisters, look the same as the head of your clitoris. All right? As the penis is nothing but a long clitoris, in which that was produced by way of the 28% missing material. That 28 missing material is what formed us to become men and elongate the clitoris to form to become the penis, which is the magic wand, which is the magic stick, which has just like you have a flash drive or you have a USB port or you have thumb drive or whatever you want to refer to it as. Once this stick is put into the computer or into the database, which would be the vagina, between the two, you get the message or the communication. You're able to download or upload. Right? That's the same thing with life. You're now able to download a guide or a goddess if the information is proper and correct. In sex magic, you're able to upload if your minds are together on a particular subject in order to manifest what you want. All right, because it's coming from that upload. So your crown chakra symbolizes that mental force field of the pineal gland. Then it comes down to the eternal bliss, as it is also described, the spark of Heya, which means life, the guardian angel being, the spirit and soul thought formed, the emotions are manifested, and then the force between voluntary and involuntary action. All that correlates to the planes that we talked about, which is the union with your higher self, which is called Allah or Elo or El Elo, or God. The spinal column, which is symbolized as divine reality. Your chakras, the seats, which is divine truth. Your mental, your spiritual, and the forces, in which they all correlate down to the 7 chakras in the human being as related to the 7 physical senses, as we stated, which are in tune with the 7 heavens. All right? Now, we also refer to it as the crown chakra or the coronial crown or chakra, Shankara, located at the top of the head. You have the brow or the frontal chakra located at the space between the eyebrows and above. Actually, you have 6 more above one. Matter of fact, that is called the false sephira, which is called the spirit of Dorth, which is the spirit of knowledge, in which that is spoken of. So it can be false knowledge in that if you utilize it for the wrong purposes. So it has to be taught and trained to you how to use that particular focal or chakra point. It's better to use the one upward towards the where the Hindus wear the red dot at, or the bindu dot, all right, which is above the eyebrows and the located in the space above the eyebrows. All right, then you have the throat or larynxal chakra, which is activated your thyroid gland, parathyroid glands. Like we said, the brow chakra is actually for the pituitary gland, and the crown chakra is the pineal gland. So for the throat or larynxal chakra, that's located at the front of the throat. Then you have the heart or cardiac chakra, which is located over the heart, which is actually the thymus gland, which used to pump, just like the heart. All right. Then you have the navel or umbilical chakra, which is also connected to what we refer to as the sacral chakra, located at the navel. All right, which actually is that particular one is located more so at the solar plexus. All right, but it's called the navel or umbilical chakra. But if you go further down, that's actually the solar plexus. Down further is the navel, or what we refer to as the umbilical chakra, which is located or connected to the sacral bone chakra, which is at the base of the back of the spine, which is a downward triangular shape, where the Kundalini resides at. Then you have the root chakra or base chakra, which is located at the base of the spine. Actually, it also is the perineum area, which is located and connected to that too. All right, so the chakras or seats is the faculty that God has bestowed upon man, senses, to help him stay in tune with the spiritual world. All right, there is the ears, all right, but not the physical ears for hearing, but the ears for inner hearing, which is called clairaudience. Right, there's the eye, but not the physical eyes for seeing, but the eye for inner seeing, which is the third eye. All right, which above the third eye is if you get the book Nutricide by Dr. Layla Africa, on page 15, he shows you that the brain being blown up to an equivalent size of a car. And above the pineal gland is the fourth eye, which is the eye of Heru, which is a galaxy-like cloud hovering over top, which we refer to as the internal Nibiru, or Nebiru, or Nebhiru, which means the golden light. All right? This name was actually the attribute to the inner seeing, which is by the elders, known as the 24 elders, which is the 12 pair of cranial nerves that sits around the pineal gland. Once that you receive that enlightenment of the spark of the Kundalini, it lights up that whole third ventricle with white light. All right. Now that inner eye is known as clairvoyance. Right. Then you have clairsentience, clairgestance, and psychchemistry. Right. These are the highest senses of the 5 senses in which that we work with on an everyday basis. All right. Now we know that the ancient Egyptians identified with the third eye. That's where you see the serpent raising out of the tiara or the crowns of the pharaohs and pharaohesses and those of the royal family, right? And it's referred to as the sleeping serpent. But when it sparks and hit the pineal gland, the Kundalini awakens. So the Kundalini itself is Kundalini Shakti. Then it awakens Kundalini Shiva, which is actually Osar, all right, in ancient Kemetic teachings, or Metu Neter. Kundalini Shakti is Auset, All right, that's where you get the term Holy Spirit from. And its connection to the Holy Breath, because the Holy Breath is what raises the Holy Spirit. So hence, the two are interchangeable. This is where you get the Holy Ghost from, mentioned within the Bible also. The Holy Spirit, Holy Ghost, Holy Breath, all that is one and the same. All right? And as it comes up, it awakens Osar. Osar is the God who is half asleep or is dead in the pineal gland. That is the soul embedded inside of the pineal gland. It's functioning somewhat, but you have not realization. You have no realization of this sleeping principle within you, this powerful force, in which that when your crown chakra is open, is 1,000 times more powerful than the rest of your chakras. The rest of your chakras comes to the number of 144 when you add those up, the other 6 chakras. But then the crown chakra has 1,000 lotus petals. So when you take 144 and times 1,000, all right, it comes to 144,000, all right, which symbolizes the 144,000 crystal-like particles in your body, in which that when you absorb the sunlight through your melanin, god damn, you become a force to be reckoned with. This is when your powers turn on, in which that we just made mention of, which is called your higher senses.
Remember the movie Lucy.
Right, exactly. This is the sleeping power that one must strengthen. So when the third eye is used, the whole body, the whole entire body is consumed with light, meaning the etheric body and the physical body alike are attuned with each other, because now this light has become impressed upon you. This is because you're a melanated being, you're able to absorb these light frequencies as we talked about. This is mentioned in Luke 11:34, John 1:5, Psalms 119:18, Matthew 6:22. Okay? This is what's going on. So throughout the scriptures, references are made to the third eye, not the physical eyes, because your 2 physical eyes can see what's going on the material plane. But it's your third eye, when you close your eyes at night, that your third eye becomes activated, that allows you to see the impressions of everything that's on the physical plane in the etheric or astral plane or higher planes of existence in which that we just spoke of. Remember, the ionosphere is where the ancestors go to after they leave the physical body. That's the first place that we go to. Scientists have even studied under a microscope that electrons make a 360-degree rotation, and then as they make that 360-degree rotation, they go out of sight, even with the most powerful microscope, and then obviously they make another 360 degrees rotation elsewhere. Then it reappears back into the 360-degree rotation that the scientists can see. So that means that is symbolic to reincarnation. That if you don't escape Earth velocity, which is 7.83 hertz, all right, which is the Earth resonance, which is called the Schumann resonance, then you must come back here again. This is symbolic to what the ancient Egyptians did with the heart being weighed against the feather. If your heart is heavy, which means that if it's trapped, those desires is trapped within the within the 4 devils, which is the 4 lower chakras, the heart chakra, the solar plexus, the navel chakra, and the root chakra, and you have not allowed for the heart to ascend into the throat chakra, the third eye, and the crown chakra, which is your immortal body, which is called your Ba, Ka, and Aku, then God damn it, you gotta come back here again. You gotta do this shit again. All right? That is karma. You gotta do this again. All right, that's what's going on. All right, so this is the power that resides within every one of us, every man, every woman that lies dormant, waiting for the proper channels to be activated, which is called your meridians, your nadi, so that this power can become activated. This is the power that must be exercised through meditation, proper diet, which of course you do your thing, discipline, and certain daily rituals, right? Which is your breathing meditations. Actually, the best thing is your breath. All right, this your yin chi energy and your yang chi energy. In the mornings upon awakening, you should breathe in for a count of 4, hold it for 4, breathe in again for 4, And then breathe out for 8. And you would feel the energy being stored right below your navel chakra, which is called your lower dantian or your lower heaven. At night, you would breathe in for a count of 10. All right? Breathe out for 4. Hold it for 4. Breathe out for 4 again. All right? And that energy also would come down from the top lip down the front channel, what is called the conceptual or what is called functional channel, down once again to right below the belly button, about 2 fingers right below the belly button, in which that once again you store this energy. So it's the balance of you mastering the yin and yang principle. All right? When you're out of whack, based on if you're too active, your mind is too active, then you will have to slow it down with the yin breath. If you're not active enough, then you will have to speed up with the yang breath. Understand your body, understand the mentality in which that is taking place. Right? The alternate nostril breath technique called Anuma Viloma. You breathe, you close your right nostril and breathe in for a count of 4. You close both nostrils for a count of 16. Then you breathe through your right nostril for a count of 8. Then you alternate back and forth. This activates both hemispheres of the brain, the left and right hemisphere of the brain, with the middle brain, in which that sets off dendrites and synapses in order to give you a higher awareness and frequency and to end high blood pressure, diabetes, all these problems in which that niggas are suffering with. All right? So this is the power that must be exercised. All right? And it tunes you with your natural supreme state in which that man was created. Then there's the inner heart, not the physical heart, the al-kabid, in which that pumps the blood. That's, the physical heart pumps the blood that circulates around the body, but the inner heart, which is the seat of the inner sisters, is called the al-kabid or the Qubit, Q-U-B-T, or Cupid, or Cupid. All right? That particular inner heart is where it says that Allah resides, according to the Sufis. That Allah is closer to you than your jugular vein. That's mentioned in the Holy Quran. All right? So, we know that even within the 101s, it tells you where is Allah located at, Brother L?
Allah is located within you.
Right. It says in the heart.
Higher self.
Right. Now, the heart can be, right, the heart is this inner heart that I'm talking about, on which that actually is not just related to the physical heart, but to that seed atom, which connects with what is called the silver cord, or that etheric cord, which is connected to that right, the right ventricle in the heart, all right, on the right side of the heart. And that seed connects that etheric cord, right? And that is what we're talking about here, in which that stems up through the pineal gland, where the soul is embedded at. So really upon activation of both, when they are in rhythm with each other, is what sets off the immortal body, activates the immortal body. All right, so understand that there's distinct and intricate moves of vibrations. That's what these planes are, woven into each other so uniquely that one cannot determine where one plane begins and the other ends, right? Nothing in creation really rests. Everything you hear, taste, smell, etc. vibrates. So the nature of this mood or vibration ranges from very high and fast, which is symbolic to the violet light, purple light, white light, gold light, to very slow and low, which is the red light, which is part of Roy G. Biv. All right, so red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. These are the 7 planes of heavens, also within you. The lowest and the slowest in the material or physical plane, while the fastest and highest is the plane where one is in total union and bliss with God. All right? That's the bosom of God that is mentioned within the Holy Bible. All right? Understand that. right? So these 7 heavens or planes are divided into 3 worlds within the Hebrew. So the words that I just told you within the Rosicrucian now become summarized within the Islamic or Al-Islam, which is actually the mystical side of Al-Islam, which is Sufism. These realms of Lahut, which is the realm of God, Malakut, which is the realm of the angelical beings, and Nasut, which is the realm of the mortal beings or man. All right, man means mind, incarnated, which includes woman also. Mm-hmm. All right, so these 7 planes of heavens also, like we said, had 7 subplanes, which you are able to see by the 7 subplanes of the material world or plane. All right. All right. Now, understand what each one of these worlds govern. The material or physical plane is the governor of the cardinal desire. This is the physical or material plane human beings dwell on. It's partly made up of solid, liquid, and gases. If you feel that everything that exists only on this physical plane, meaning that nothing extra exists outside of this plane, you're wrong. You're wrong. All right. Mm-hmm. There's still much to be discovered on this plane. All right. We know that. Scientists are finding strange animals and animals every day. Right. Now, the plane of force is the force between voluntary and involuntary action, which correlates to centrifugal and centrifugal force, insulation, exhalation of the breath, which is dealing with the etheric. Well, there's also the voluntary and involuntary nervous system, what is called parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system. So we know that the nerves is what moves this electrical magnetic energy through the body, or this chi or ki energy or prana through the body. All right. So the plane of force and the material plane works together in perfect harmony. If this was not true, then the cycle of nature would not be basically completed so perfectly and faithful every year. All right. So this plane is largely composed of etheric duplicates of objects on the physical plane, or what is called counterparts. So the etheric refers to the spiritual part of you, as above, so below, as within, so without. Right? Really, there's no distance or temperature, seasons, day, night. It is not very subject to gravitation. And you can tell that because in your dreams, you can fly. You can move mountains. You can do all these types of elaborate things that you couldn't. Right. You know, that you can do all these elaborate things that you couldn't do here physically on this plane, at least not until you have got enough prana or chi or ki energy to do these types of things. Mm-hmm. In which that the only place right now that you can learn how to do these things, all right, is within the African culture by studying Palomayombe and different other Congo rituals and ceremonies and arts. You used to be able to find it within the Yoruba, the Ifa or the Akan, all right, Budan, all right. The Chinese has it, in which that is referred to as Qigong, you know, and Denmark, all right. So understand that there's places in which that you can still find how to do these things, all right. So you must study these particular arts, all right, and leave the ego out of it, because the ego is what transforms you into becoming one possessed. If you're not right, if your third eye is not correct, then you become possessed at the first and second chakra by way of your medulla oblongata, which is reptilian portion of the brain in particular, or your brain stem, which is called the all complex. And people will know that you are connected to, or that these demons overshadow you, and you know, from the first and second overtone level of the astral plane, because your eyes would change into reptilian. So you don't want to have an ego going into studying these arts just for the sake of getting power.
Right.
You want to be able to go into these arts understanding that you want to become the greatest that you can become, not greater than someone else. You're trying to become greater than someone else, your monkey ass will get possessed. Telling you straight up. All right? So don't fuck around with this. You know, what I'm telling you is the pure facts. All right? Now understand what I'm telling you. Because everybody who studied the occult, metaphysics, and esoteric sciences will agree with what I'm telling you. Whether it's Brother Bobby Hemmett, whether it's Baba Phil Valentine, whether it's Dr. Derek Blair. You have to move beyond the ego, which is the lowest self.
Right.
If you take and raise your lower self into your higher self with the same impressions, the same fears, the same attitudes, behavior, the same nonsense, the same lust, greed, jealousy, envies, and hatreds, then you will have illusions of grandeur, and your monkey ass will get possessed. This is the nonsense that you see. The nonsense that you see taking place now in the so-called conscious community. A lot of these niggas out here now teaching, I'm telling you, they possess. Because they got illusions of grandeur. They just ain't come out and tell you yet that they think that they're the only Jesus Christ on the planet. But that they're the only God. And you got to worship me. They ain't come out and do that yet. But don't worry, you're going to start seeing it. I already see the pattern. Because a lot of them don't have teachers. And y'all are listening to these clowns.
Mm-hmm.
See, I had teachers. I've been doing this for 30 years. I ain't just come walking up out of nowhere after reading one book.
Right.
I practice this shit daily. Having to be able to control the ego enough so that when the Kundalini lifts or ascends, you won't get those paralysis that we're talking about. All right. I'm not asking nobody to worship me. I don't have nowhere to take you except to yourself. Because God exists within you. That's what I've been teaching from day one. Ask anybody who know me back in the 90s, in the early 80s, well, late 80s, in the early 90s. There's people right now who've been to my classes back in the 80s. And they'll tell you that I've been teaching the same thing since day one. All right? So, this never changed. And that's how you know that you have someone that you can listen to, is because they have the least amount of conflicting information. People who contradict themselves often in their lectures, these are the individuals that you should not be listening to. Notice how many of these lecturers out now contradict themselves. All right, and I'm not talking about, maybe, mess up on the word here or said a word here or what. I'm not just talking about like that. I'm talking about ideology. That's what I'm talking about. Ideology. All right, so the plane of force is governed by a force called attraction, and it's all around us. This is where we get the law of attraction from. It's as much part of our makeup as the material plane. Right, you're not able to detect it because your senses are not conditioned. All right, only way you can get them conditioned once again is by practicing your breath techniques, meditation. However, beyond the subplane or etheric doubles of the plane of force is a vast reservoir of forces which very few of us have knowledge of. These forces control the forces that results in what we now know to be nature, hence Mother Nature or Metu Nature. Right? So the higher forces can also be held accountable for the many so-called wonders and supernatural, which is the miraculous things that take place here. If you are able to absorb enough prana or chi energy, then you can become wonderful and supernatural and have these supernatural phenomenons to take place all the time on a material plane. And none of this shit will become, like surprising to you. You just know that you walk in faith and that all this shit just has to be because you said it in your mind. And that's what it is. The lowest force consists of ordinary forces of energy like heat, light, attraction, electricity, etc. But the higher forces are those forms of energy which are finer. This gives man's nature vitality and the ability to grow and reproduce. This vital force, which sets life on the physical into motion and is possible for growth and reproduction, is called the nefesh, right? Which means the spirit or the spark of life, which actually is the breath itself. The Hindus call it prana, and in the Hebrew is called nefesh, which means breath. So every action and reaction of growth and reproduction is a result from the life force, hence the breath. And this takes us to the spirit plane where emotions are manifest, right? So what is the spirit plane? It's called the astral plane or the emotional plane, really. It is the plane where you decide whether you move to a higher plane or burn out your desires for the physical material lower plane, right? This is what happens. So when you exhaust all individuality, such as pride, conceit, greed, envy, hunger, fear, hate, jealousy, just to name a few. This is also the plane of judgment by which humans are judged by sins rather than for them. In other words, you took your guilt with you as you left here. You never changed. Your personality remains the same on the astral plane. So if you're the same hateful nigga here, you're going to be the same hateful nigga there. All right? So this plane decides your permanent destination. This becomes your heaven or your hell that we're talking about. Because there's a mental conditioning. The human beings who have strong love for the physical plane will greatly desire rebirth into the physical lower plane. So one cannot pass directly from the... Huh? Go ahead, brother.
They're still living in the past. They're taking their past
with
them and try to live the present.
They have those...
And you can't do that.
Right, they have those... Right, you can't do that. But this is the attachments that these Negroes will have. All right? So one cannot pass directly from the physical plane to the spirit plane. Your deeds determine whether or not you proceed or recycling incarnation, processing a human form. So the spirit body, which is the shell of the soul, houses itself on the spirit plane. The spiritual body may continue to live for the extended amount of years depending on the spiritual status of that person. In other words, 1,000 years is a day unto the Lord. So your spirit body will live 1,000 years, but then your monkey ass will have to incarnate again. Or what appears to be 1,000 years. Okay? I'm sorry. I got to be a bearer of bad news for the niggas. But this is the plane where you can become God by taking responsibilities. All right? This means you have to be accountable for your deeds, ways, and actions. This is what the 42 laws of Maya was really for, so that you can recite them on a daily basis so that you can make your heart lighter than the feather. In other words, it was a form of positive decrees, affirmations, mantras, hakau, hesses. That's what this was about. All right? So you have to take responsibility and not be, wondering about, about if you need to or not. How how do you know after you die that you're going to go to a higher life? Can you prove it? Of course. We just spoke about it in many ways. But scientists have already proven it. They said 70 grams of weight is alleviated upon death. They weighed the physical body at death, and 70 grams of weight leaves the physical body. Now, of course, we understand that the only thing that happens in which that when you die is that you stop breathing. So that means upon death, the breath leaves the physical body, which your soul rises upon the breath, and it's the 70 grams in which that leaves, which is that weight, which is your breath itself, in which that goes into the atmospheres that we spoke about, in particular the ionosphere. Water vapors, as it is referred to as, is the emissions of ghosts upon planet Earth, those who got trapped or earthbound. You would see them as water vapors or ghosts. They're earthbound. But those water vapors that go into, as we say, the light, which is symbolic actually to the ionosphere, going into, if you escape Earth velocity, then you can go to Sirius, the brightest star in the sky, where so-called black, brown, red people souls derive from, or the Orion constellation, which is called heaven. The word Orion comes from the word Uranos, which means heaven. Uranos means heaven within the Greek terminology. That's where you also have the word Uranus, also as a planet. All right, so understand what is going on. Right, that same 70 grams that leaves the physical body is also part of the emissions of your electrons. So upon the breath is water vapor and electrons and different other chemical compositions in which that made up the physical bodies, or that 70 grams. The ionosphere is not just the heaven, that will be actually the place in which that for those who do not make it outside of Earth velocity or gravitational pull is purgatory within the Catholic belief system. Because heaven will actually be the Sirius and Orion constellation. Orion in particular is where the stars are born, what is called the Orion Nebula. And it's a known fact that the stars are born from out of the Orion Nebula. You too will go to be born there once again to become a star up in the sky. As a matter of fact, the scientists on quantum physicists states that more than 90% of your physical body is composed of stardust energy.
Mm-hmm.
So you are a walking, living star, even in this physical body. You just don't know it. You don't know how to handle it. You don't know how to handle it because nobody told you there's a manuscript for this.
You only to 10% of your brain. 90%
right.
stardust.
Exactly.
A lot of us will die. Go to our graves and not even use the other 80% of our brain capabilities.
Exactly.
And this is what the movie Lucy was about.
Exactly, because as soon as one gives up the desire for the material things of this world, that person becomes free to travel the planes at will. If one masters these desires of the physical plane and is pure of heart, then one can visit and ascend to the spiritual plane, or the soul plane as we refer to it as within the Holy Quran Circle 7. However, one cannot pass directly from the physical to the spiritual. The spiritual body differs from the physical body in that it gives that it lives longer, but even the spiritual body is not immortal. All right, that is the lower aspect from the soul body. Really, you want to know the truth of it. All right, you have the Ka body, which is the spiritual body that is referring to. All right, then you have the lower, that's the highest. Then you have the lowest Ka body, which is the etheric body. This is what this one is really referring to here. That it finally disintegrates and also resolves into the original elements, which is called, it returns to the realm of form. That energy is what Qigong masters use to absorb into themselves, which is called the Qi or Ki or prana energy. So when one ascends, the physical body appears to be in slumber, in a dreamlike state or in a trance. This is the time when the spirit body can act freely upon the physical body, drawing the spirit and the soul outwards. All right, during these hours of sleep, it is quite easy to ascend. All right, this is what's called out-of-body experience. In a traumatic experience, it can become what is called near-death experience. All right, so this is what can take place. All right, so we know that being well-disciplined, a person can actually achieve a state of perfection and is able to ascend to the soul plane without dying. Right? They were selected in the mystery schools. All right. Of course, the Bible speaks about those. Enoch, who walked with God and was not seen again. Elijah was taken up into the heavens by a flaming chariot, which is referring to as the Macabre within the Hebrew. The word Macabre means light vehicle. Even Muhammad was taken up into the seven heavens on the night of the Al-Miraj. And the word Mirage, of course, is an illusion, which symbolizes the journey by night. All right, in which that allegedly his entire body, soul, and spirit was taken up from Mecca to the sacred, from Mecca to visit the sacred land of Jerusalem and pass through a time tunnel with this beast called the Baruch, which is a white lightning beast. But this beast was supposed to be made of different animal parts. In other words, animated spirit. And this animated spirit was nothing more than the Kundalini energy, in which that took him up into his seven heavens, which is through his seven chakras. All right, which lifted him up to the seven planes or heavens, where he was initiated into this, the spiritual mysteries of the human soul, the secrets of life and death, heaven and earth. This is all symbolic. It's mentioned in the Quran, though, in 17:1, but this is actually symbolic to your ascension. All right, because we understand that the story of Muhammad was allegorical. Right, this is mentioned within the 3rd chapter of Ingram, the family, in which that speaks about that portion of this Quran is allegorical, and only those who have knowledge given by way of Allah, those with, they are the ones who have understanding. But those who want to pervert, the biblical aspects will try to do so by making it literal or historical. Right. And this is what's going on right now with these various Negro groups.
Right. The Nation of Islam in particular.
Right. And this is what's going on. All right. So, I want to speak about this too, because there's children being born with the barytheric gland. Others have part of this socket, and others have none. All right, Dr. York speaks about this, and I want to, speak about it also. Is that this is one of the glands in which that helps us bypass or merge the lower self into the higher self, and the lust, greed, jealousy, and envy, all these particular things. If you have your barytheric gland, which is about an inch under the throat area, if you take your thumb at the base of your chin and put it under your chin, right at the front tip of your thumb, you will feel like what appears to be a ball. All right. This is the barytheric gland. Now, also spoken about a particular gland within the body is known, Dr. Deborah Blair speaks about what's called the epiphany gland, referred to within the Sanskrit teachers as the Talu gland. All right, and y'all can go and do the research on what I'm talking about. All right, that gland is like a mound, and in the center of that mound is a hole in which that leads up into the 3rd ventricle, where the pineal gland is. Certain meditation techniques will cause the pineal gland to release the milk and honey, which is called chrism, which is a sweet substance in which that will come through that hole into your mouth, in which that if you swallow can actually rejuvenate your cellular structure. But you only obtain this This is what we refer to as pinoline in conjunction with DMT, right, which is spirit molecule. All right, this is what this is all talking about. All right, now, if you have the barytheric gland, if you have the mound, all right, Dr. Deborah Blair said that the mound is the trait of the men who actually are the gods. The gods is a remnant of the gland of the gods. He said if a woman has it, he don't know if she's blessed or cursed. Well, we know that the word blessed also means blood sacrifice, but don't know if it's a good thing or a negative thing. All right, because oftentimes, if a woman has it, it's something in which that isn't the best thing for her emotional body in some regards. All right, and I'm seeing more and more women with this particular gland. Dr. Deborah Blair said he didn't think there was too many women with it, but I'm seeing over the years many women with this particular gland. It's not necessary for a woman to have this gland though, but if she does, it would be good that she learn how to meditate in order to learn how to master it. Right, but I am seeing more brothers and sisters with the barytheric gland, in which that Dr. York spoke about, in which that he states, however, that for all the people who are worthy of returning home when the angelical beings come for their children, the barytheric gland will be reinserted in the lower part of the chin called the submental area. So for those who have that, then that's who you are. You are the children of the Anunnakians. All right? And of course, Nubidu is supposed to be coming, but Nubidu itself is once again the function, because there's nothing going to come for you into this dismal crypt, as we refer to it as, or into this murky ether. Okay, as the Holy Quran makes mention of. Right? Holy Quran Circle 7, that is. So we understand is that you have to go to it. And that means that you have to activate the fourth chakra, which is the internal Nubidu, in order to have any connection to the external Nubidu, a Nebheru. Right? So you must first activate your golden light, which is that sun disk around the top of your head, like the ancient masters did, which is the production of DMT and pinoline flowing through your body on a consistent basis, not just at birth and at death, in which that Rick Stradman speaks about within DMT, the spirit molecule, in his book, that the average person only has it during those times. So upon death, a large amount of flow of the remaining DMT flows at that time in order to give you escape velocity if you have the consciousness enough so that you can bypass the will of law, as we would say in that regard, which is a part of karma, in order to go into other planes of existence, dimensions, density levels, or realms, or cosmic zones. All right, if you do not, then really it just gives you the ability to be on the astral plane for a longer period of time, like we said, the remaining. So if you die at 70, then the remaining of the 1,000 years would be 930 years of the 1,000 years would be remain there on the astral plane. Then you would reincarnate here. Now on Earth, the reincarnation will only take place if you come back within the same race. Then it would take only about 2 years in physical life. But on the astral plane, there's no time in that regard. Time is less limited, but it would appear to be as if it's 1,000 years unto the Lord, as they would say. Okay? So if you come back into a different culture, then you will come back within 5 years of reincarnation. Now, reincarnation, the cycle can be broken if you do your breathing exercises and understand the different states of consciousness. We've gone over this many times before: interpersonal consciousness, intrapersonal consciousness, life consciousness, subconsciousness, superconsciousness, magnetic consciousness, and infinite consciousness. All these conscious states can be bridged by you breathing properly. You want to go into infinite consciousness and escape earth philosophy, then you have to learn how to breathe 1 breath a minute, which is 30 seconds in, 30 seconds out. All right, so this is just part of what we're talking about here. All right, so let's go to the mental plane. All right, we continue on here. The mental plane is where thoughts are formed and individuality is given up because the soul and the spirit are outgrown. Evolution, or excuse me, not evolution, but I guess you can say elevation cannot be made to the mental plane unless one dies or has given up the physical life. At this point, when one loses the spirit and soul, he is no longer able to determine or complete any account for or against himself. This is because there is no self. One has taken the ultimate step, and from this point on, he has burned out desires. All right, so the fourth plane is also referred to as the angelic plane, or what's called Malkut, which is the realm of the angelical beings. Right, Malkut is a pathway where spirit beings come into, the gateway through the vortex. Angels vibrate on this realm and start going up higher, where the spirit beings reach the fourth realm or density. Then they decide to come to the physical plane, and human beings are caught on the first, second, and third, all right, which is your world, which is actually what they refer to as the third dimension, right? And we appear to be third dimensional beings, but yet we really are ninth dimensional beings, and actually potential. But we're actually, those who have curly hair actually are fourth dimensional beings, and we're actually getting ready to make the quantum leap into the fifth dimension, which is dealing with energy. The fourth dimension deals with time or space or depth, which is part of the third dimension, which is length, width, and height. Right? So those who have straight hair are those locked into the third dimension. Those who have curly hair, which is like on the back of the antennas of the old TVs, which is the ohm antennas, which is 9 ether hair, as we speak of, they are the ones who are actually fourth dimensional beings already. Right? So actually, the fourth dimensional beings on the planet Earth are being held down by third dimensional beings. Right? This is what Dr. Barbara Phil Valentine was talking about, light, lockdown code transmissions. All right, we're locked down. All right, so that we can't transmit higher frequencies based on our belief system and our mental apparatus. Of us believing that, that we're victims, that that we can't get out of this situation, that this is hopeless and helpless. All right? Even if you feel like that, you better learn how to fake it till you make it. Put them goddamn positive thoughts in your head and make this a reality for yourself.
Right.
But this is all this realm is. This realm is part of the hologram, or what's called a holographic universe. Right. Right. Just simulation that you're really in. This is what is meant by Francis Bacon through William Shakespeare, who states that this world is merely a stage, and you're merely an actor in this play.
Right. It's a song, yeah.
So understand that. All right. So when you reach the mental plane, there's no longer a question about one's destiny. One already knows that you're on the right path, and from henceforth, one is in a total state of mind, which is shared or united with every living thing. So all forms of lower individuality are entirely dissolved, non-existent. One realizes the bliss or that ultimate love because there is no longer separate individual ideas to separate. This is where right now you can experience that if you just combine the right and left hemisphere of your brain. If you want to know the truth of the matter. But because we've been taught to be so goddamn linear, as Brother L said, most people only use 10% of their brain. The other 90% goes unused. Just like most people only use 10% of their DNA, the other 90 goes unused, which is called junk DNA. And it's a known fact that scientists said that we can only see 10% of the universe, because the other 90% is made up of what is called dark matter and black energy. But remember, your melanin is in the image and after the likeness of God. Therefore, your melanin is in the image of black energy and dark matter. This is what gives you this pigment or coloration. All right? What are you supposed to do with it? You're supposed to absorb light. Part of the visible light spectrum is what is made up of the rest of the entire of the universe, which is about 10% or so, in which that the other 90% is the dark matter and the black energy. Hence, give you the totality of the 100%. Hence, just like you can use 100% usage of your brain, if you just tap in and realize the other 90%, that really what you want to do is learn how to breathe properly. And like we said, the breath technique would be the various ones that we may mention here. In particular, the one breath technique, which you breathe in for 30 seconds and out for 30 seconds. That's ultimately how you will reach infinite consciousness, which is the bosom of Allah or the bosom of God, or which is mentioned in the Bible. I mean, all these different things are somewhat spoken there. You know, we just have to realize what the various keys are. All right, so this is also where we tune into the plane or the mental plane. This is the plane where man and mind meets. All right, this revelation was given to man from the fourth plane. All right, what makes Melchizedek able to communicate with the higher forces is the angelical forces in him that are double that of the normal man. All right, so you can be Melchizedek. You can reach 720 degrees of knowledge, information, and wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we can reach that, or overstanding, understanding, you know, or just standing.
Just leave those third dimensional values behind, you know. You want to hold on to that third dimension values. And you can't bring that with you into the fourth and fifth dimensions, all the way to the ninth. You can't do it. You have no room.
Yeah.
It won't fit.
Right.
That's what keeps a lot of sisters and brothers from growing, you know.
Right. Right. And what exactly, that's true. That's what keeps them from growing. And what we mean by Melchizedek, we talk about the 720 degrees of knowledge or will, meaning that there's 360 degrees twice, or 360 degrees of the physical world, and 360 degrees of the spiritual world, all right, which is 720 degrees. Remember, we spoke about earlier about this electron that leaves the body, make a 360 degrees rotation, disappears, make another 360 degrees rotation, scientists believe, to reappear again to make another 360 degrees rotation. That's 720 degrees of rotation. So many thought that Dr. York didn't know what the hell he was talking about. But scientists now confirm what he was talking about by way of the electron. This is why you can't. That's why, you know, stop laughing at people and trying to so much battle someone and debate someone, and go and read not just one book, but goddamn a whole damn library, where you can come to some of the same conclusions that these brothers have come to over, you know, 30, 40, 50 years of research and teaching. And you thinking your ass just coming out of damn studying for 2 years like you're the goddamn master all of a sudden.
No way.
And you ain't done shit to damn contribute to damn the salvation of humanity and the upliftment of humanity. Except goddamn talk.
About the size of it.
And you think that you really mastering this shit. The only thing you mastering is your goddamn tongue. And that should be right now.
He's mastering how to talk.
Right.
And nothing else.
Exactly.
Don't write nothing. Don't contribute to nothing. Like you said, just stand. Don't understand, overstand. Just stand there.
Right.
Constantly standing still. And go to their graves with that. Some knowledge they could have taught to the people, to the to the masses of the people, but to keep it to themselves. And take it to the graves, to the grave with them. A lot of our people could have learned, so they can grow. If he didn't want to grow, well, damn, let them grow. Get them the knowledge and do something with it, instead of keeping it to yourself. That's why I have a problem with a lot of these so-called secret societies and fraternal orders. The sacred science, which belong to our people any damn way. So what are you talking about? You want to house into a lodge the European told you to do. So who does that benefit? Them, not us.
Exactly. And why you think they do that, Brother L?
Well, they've been they've been taught to believe that. That this is a secret. They sworn between them and their God, the oath or obligation that this would be a secret and keep it in the lodge. But that was something that the European Masonic Order and the other fraternities and secret societies had told them if they want to be a part of that, this is what you have to do. To be a Mason or to be whatever, Rosicrucian or even a Skull and Bones, you got to do this, So, but who do the benefits? It definitely ain't benefit us. Look across the country, we are killing each other by staggering proportions. Why? Because of lack of knowledge. And this is what's going on. Yeah.
Is that what's going on?
Mm-hmm. It's just that the police started back to killing us a lot more than what they have been doing. They've been doing this for decades. They're saying to hell with YouTube. We don't care. It's showing it on YouTube. Show it on YouTube. We're going to still kill the niggas off. So they ain't caring about that no more. So, it goes to show you.
Right.
People talking about progress. So where is the progress? What progress are you talking about? So, progress for where? Just show it to me.
You're right. Where's the progress? You know what I'm saying? But that's what we're trying to do. There's progress in pockets. As a whole, it appears to be no progress at all. But in pockets, there's much progress.
It is.
So, that's the thing in which that is taking place. We're looking at it from our perspective, and when you look at it from a vast perspective, it looks as if there's no, nothing has been done. There's no moves in which that's been made. But when you look at it from a close in your face aspect, there's things in which that is turning around. There's things in which that is taking place in which that can actually help change and manifest a greater awareness within our people.
Well, look at what you and Kadira has done with the property down there. See, look what you have done. And the September 18th to the 20th, that'd be a good thing for a lot of people to come down and to see the work that you have done for yourself, the progress that you have made. And this is what you're talking about. Maybe a spread.
In pockets, right.
And maybe that pocket will spread,
exactly.
all over fallen humanity.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be uplifted. Right. Fallen humanity will be uplifted.
Right. And now I want to say this too before we get off of here, that science has documented that the what they refer to as photonic energy of the average human body is actually emitted at the equivalence of a 120 watt light bulb, or what is a 120 volt battery. This is why in the movie Matrix, you see Morpheus hold up a Duracell battery talking to Neo. And what does that 124-volt battery equals 25,000 BTUs. And that our auric fields or astral, which is our star body, the higher astral body, hence the spirit body, the higher body, the astral body that is, not the etheric, the lower one, is eternal, which is actually dealing with the soul principle. If you want to know the truth of it, all right, is the equivalent to the lifetime of the universe, which is about 10e22 years. The auric field then contains the electronic mass of 4e21, right, which is 24 zeros after the 4 of electrons, right? And I know that you might not understand what I'm saying, but remember I told you that electrons leave the physical body upon the leaving of the physical breath, all right? Or the water vapors. As you exhale, that cord is cut and that breath leaves its temple. Leaves its temple. All right. Get a question in it too. Let me see here. Those that want to call in, 626-414-3535. That's 626-414-3535. Give us a call right now. You got any questions? We done went through some deep shit. So I know somebody got to have a question out here. So pick up the phone. Give us a call right now at 626-414-3535. All right, we got area code 410. Area code 410. You're on the line.
Peace. What's going on, brothers? How's the night going?
Well, brother.
Yeah, you know I'm always fast on the phone. Quick draw, call in. Man, you've been dropping it, brother Alim today.
Oh yeah.
And you've been you maxed out on one of your sets and you just dropped the weight, just
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
You ain't even care about the gym. You know, sometimes the gym you can't drop the weight. You say fuck, just boosh. But
right, just
yeah, man, it's funny.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's fun. It's funny how that worked too, man. Because you know how how you be reviewing something, and then the answer just they come through with something you see on TV or a newspaper, or it'll come through the ethers or whatever. And I was just looking up about the planes, the cosmic planes, the physical, astro, mental, Buddhic, Atman, and what was the other one?
Exactly. Right. Buddhic is the ka. Right. The Atman is the soul. Exactly. The immortal bodies.
Okay. Yeah. That was one of the questions. I was wondering if some of the people using words interchangeably. I mean, we basically talking about the same thing. Yeah.
Right. It is.
Okay, and I got a couple questions for you. I was coming back. We was in the car with some people, and we was having kind of deep discussion about karma, or what they, a lot of people don't realize is I'm glad you touched on it too. The ka, mayat, measuring your ka, or the ka mayat, kama, or whatever. And wasn't not that.
The ka, the lower ka, that is, does dissipate and return to the realm of form that science refers to as the ionosphere. You know what I'm saying? And when you look at where the sun rays come through, a large amount of that energy is first processed in the ionosphere. This is why they put the satellites up in the ionosphere. Why you have the radio and the TV satellites in the ionosphere to pick up communications. Right? This is why the communications or go there first, because that is the realm of communication. This is why they can contact you through the dream world, you know what I'm saying, via your dreams, You know what I'm saying? And you see your ancestors that passed on, and they communicate to you. You know, some that you knew, some that you don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because that is, you know, what's taking place.
Right. And you know, various master teachers talk about how the light, you know, people always talking about moving towards the light, and that light is really there to trap you. As, you know, if you want to go another realm.
Definitely. Because remember, that could be, like we said, Sirius A, which is the brightest star in the sky. Actually, the tunnel leads to there, in which that is also can be the place where reincarnation takes place, occurs at, in order to come back into a third-dimensional apparent reality based on, or, you know, based on one's consciousness. And one actually might not even make it all the way there, because oftentimes they end up seeing a figure in which that tells them to go back. You ain't ready for this shit yet. You know, and that's oftentimes what takes place, you know, when one has an out-of-body experience or one who has a near-death experience. You know what I'm saying? They can't make it, you know what I'm saying, to those levels. You know what I'm saying? So, but they get the glimpse of the light, but they can't become the light. They're not ready for the light yet.
Right.
This is why all of a sudden this mystic figure that they seeing was so damn bright, you know, that it hurt their eyes, even though they didn't have no physical eyes to begin with. But you know what I'm saying? So this is all the things, you know, that's taking place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and damn, my phone about to die. Let me get this out. All right, so the brother was asking me about, you know, you hear a lot of theories about karma, and you know, just shooting it out there. That some of the main tenets of the conversation was, if you step on a bug, it's just real simplistic, you know, just for the sake of time. But if you step on a bug, you had to come back in another life as a bug, or something to that sort of, you know, something of that nature. So if we know it's a cycle, the eight spokes of reincarnation, is the, you know, Buddhism talk about it. You know, what's the point of hating the so-called straight haired man or woman? You know, is that also following that same pattern? You know, are we going to be coming back, or could somebody come back as a straight-haired person that we have so much animosity towards?
Right. Well, let me explain this. That the incarnation process that he's taught a Vedic nation, as if you're a man, you would come back as a bug. That is called teachings. If you were more than often, you look as a man or a woman. In other words, you come back in the form of a human or at least mankind species. You would not devolve or devolve, as we would say, into a bug or some type of other type of creature or animal. Okay, but that is allegedly a Vedic interpretation. All right. However, the Holy Quran Circle 7 makes the corrections on that. You know what I'm saying? Because that question was asked or told to Jesus. Of course, even Jesus is a allegorical aspect in that regard, but the answer was given that is not the case. That really what we're talking about is coming back as a human or mankind, part of the so-called family species in that regard, not as a bug or insect or animal or some type of creature. All right, but that type of energy in which that we talked about, which was called the realm of form, where the spirit of these entities dissipates and return, in which that can be utilized by humans and by animals, which is through the breathing process, which is called chi or ki or prana energy. But it don't make you, as a man, it don't make you a bug. It don't make you a bear or a dog or a cat or a rat or anything of that sort. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, but you all breathing in those same molecules of those in which that once existed. You know what I'm saying, on this physical realm. But the evolutionary state comes by way of the birthing process. As the woman, when she is carrying a child, that child through the what is called the 9-month period or the 3 trimester periods or the triple stage darkness goes through the evolutionary process from a reptilian to an amphibious to a mammal being. So, but that occurs by the breath in which that she takes in which that molds and shapes the human being into existence, but not as a separate entity as if we came from a cat, rat, a dog, or et cetera, et cetera.
Right, right.
It's an evolutionary process of us taking on the elements of all these beings by way of the breath cycle inside the womb, not externally, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, because I mean, something ain't jive right when a brother told me he was like, man, you must have been a bear in your past life. I was like, I got some more meditation to do.
Right now, how did I pick up the bear energy? Let me explain. Because the bear could be your totem. Understand? Your bear could be your totem. That's what he's picking up. Is your totem. I went over this 2 weeks ago. Is that the bear, or if you have animals within the Native American, African traditions or Aboriginal tradition, you can have animals as your totem power. And therefore, a bear can be your totem, a lion, a rat, a dog, whatever type of entity can be your totem. But that doesn't make you a rat, bear, or lion, or whatever the case is. It's just like your zodiac sign. All right, I'm an Aries. I'm a Ram. Do that make me a Ram? All right. What's your sign, brother?
Cancer.
Okay, so do that make you a crab?
Right, and legend even have it.
Are you?
We actually.
Right. Are you?
We actually.
Right. Are you a crab literally? I'm not a ram literally.
Right.
Right.
Normally I'm not going to headbutt you guys, you know what I'm saying, off the bat.
Right.
We both Aries.
Exactly.
Right, yeah. People at the head.
That don't make us rams, though.
Right. And sometimes the current zodiac is a little suspect when you delve into the research, like as far as the polarities having a cross as water and fire. Oh, hold on, water and earth opposing fire and air instead of having earth by Capricorn. No, my bad. Instead of having a water sign, Scorpio, across from Aquarius, the water bearer, but yet he's an air sign. You know what I mean? Like it was a little bit of confusion somewhere in there. But I didn't want to get off topic. And on that note, far as kind of going with the karma, and you touch on stuff that you really going to hear. Like you was talking about that with the lecturers, dudes be contradicting themselves. The whole philosophies, like it was almost like they just looked on Wikipedia a couple of times and started lecturing or whatever. But far as for real, man, like I call it Wikipedia knowledge. You just look on Wikipedia a little bit and start spelling stuff. But far as
and then go take the show on the road. Oh, might be my phone.
No, I hear you.
Oh, okay. You hear me?
Yes, I hear you loud and clear.
Okay. I don't know what happened to the brother. Knocked off somehow.
Yeah.
No, he. Okay. Let's go to area code 803. Area code 803 on the line. $803. Peace.
Peace, brother.
Is he here, Brother L?
Yeah, I hear him.
Brother?
It sounded like he said, peace.
No, that was me. I'm trying to see if he's on.
Oh, that was you. Oh, okay. No, I didn't hear him. I guess he didn't come through.
Oh, okay. All right. So let me get back right quick then. Within Islam, there's 7 hells. We spoke about the heavens. Literally, what that means, the 7 hells is nothing more than descending energy along the same line as the 7 heavens. Now, within Hebrew, you have Sheol, you have Jahannam, you have, as it's called within Hebrew. Then the Quran speaks of An-Nur, which is the fire, Jahim, which is the blazing fire, Hatama, which that which breaks to pieces, Hay, Waya, or Wiya, which is the abyss, Sair, or what is called Lata, which is the blaze, or Sakir. All right, these are the so-called 7 gates of hell, which is coming from the Hadith. All right, writings. All right, which or describe Jahannam. All right, which the Quran speaks about this. This so-called last days or Jannah, which is paradise. You know what I'm saying, or hell. You know what I'm saying. So understand that once again, descendant energy symbolizes the 7 hells. Ascendant energy symbolizes that 7 heavens. All right. So understand that. So the Quran speaks of the 7 heavens as well as also the 7 hells. All right. Brother L, you got anything to add to that?
Oh yeah, they speak about that also in Mustafa Ali's book, the Holy Quran, about the 7 hills.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot what surah it was in.
Right.
Yeah, it does speak about the number 7 a lot in the Holy Quran.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It speaks about that. I think I wrote something on that. I think I gave speech on one of the blog talk shows I did by myself. I think I gave a lecture on that. I believe I did.
All right. Well, if you want to, you can expand on it. Right. Expand on, something that you.
Well, dealing with the number 7. I have time explaining about the 7 means a year. The 7 a year. You mean 300? I said, well, yeah. Well, what 3 times? 2 times? 5 and 2 is what? 7. I said, how many weeks is in a year? 52. Okay, there's your year. And a lot of that's okay. Now I see. I got you. Yeah, that's what they mean by the number 7. Is a year. Dealing with the circle 7, dealing with the 7 recycles of the human body. Every 7 years, our body takes on a different cycle. A lot of people didn't know. The 7 tones of the music. The 7 different colors. The 7 energy centers, which is the chakras, the Kundalini chakras in our bodies. 7 days a week, the 7 sabbatical years, the 7 years of famine. The 7 liberal arts. You go on and on and on. But it's the number 7 goes a long, long, long way. The 7 intelligence of Elohim. So that means 7 days a week. I can't remember them all. I know I've written them down. A lot of that I will be writing in my newsletters dealing with the number 7.
Right.
I will be putting in my future newsletters on the number 7 and how it relates to the circle 7.
Okay.
So the circle 7 within the circle of the 7, or you can say the 4 gates, that represents a year, 360 degrees. The circle, the 7, 52, 5 and 2 is 5 and 2 is 7, 52 weeks in a year. 360 days, basically, originally was a year. It's out of 365 days. But the 4 gates represent the 4 seasons, or the 4 horsemen, the 4 gospels, in the Christian mysteries, or the Bible. The 4 gates, the 4 north, east, west, and south, where we get the word news from. I can go on and on and on, Dr. Ali. So.
Hey, well, keep going, bro, because they need this knowledge, because you just dropped it right there with the news, north, east, west, and south.
Yeah,
that's the news, looking at it from all 4 directions.
Yeah, the 4 cardinal points, dealing with the, the Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John of the 4 Gospels, dealing with the 4 represents foundation, the 4 seasons of a year, the 4 books, and a deck of cards that most people play. The 4 books. There's 52 cards in the 4 decks of the books. All of it represent 360 degrees. And when you tell people that about the deck of cards, they're like, "Wow, I never heard that. I never was told it like that before. Nobody never broke it down like that to me before. So I'm like, wow. So yeah, the deck of cards has a lot of science to it.
Right. Exactly.
Dealing with the all the break down, goes back to the number 7. And
right. And see what you were talking about, the Holy Quran with the 7 heavens. If I'm not mistaken, that's mentioned in the Holy Quran Yusuf Ali version, the 71st chapter in the 15th ayat.
That's the
one
I'm talking
about. It's mentioned there.
Yusuf Ali, not the Malana.
Right.
Yusuf Ali, yeah.
Yusuf Ali, right. And they talk about the prophet who went through all the heavens one by one when he was ascending to the sky. He was accommodated by the angel Gabriel in his journey, and even Gabriel had to leave him alone on his last part of the journey because Gabriel was not allowed to go above certain heavens of the sky. You know what I'm saying? So that passage is ended, speaking about, as we were talking about the night of Al-Miraj, of the night of the journey of power of Prophet Muhammad as he got taken up on the animal of the Baruch, which is the white lightning, translated as white lightning, which symbolizes the whitest mercury color, or silvery mercury color of the Kundalini as it comes up through the Shushuna, which is the hollow area in the back of the spinal column, through the 33 vertebrates, take you into the 7th heaven, which is the crown chakra, symbolizes, that's what, that really symbolized it, but we understand that it is all in there, Samawat, which is the word heavens. You have the lower heaven, which is Samadunya, the visible, which is called Shahid, which is another form of heaven. It's spoken of within, the Holy Quran about the various heavens. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So there's 7 heavens and 7 hells. Once again, ascending energy is symbolic to heavens, the seven heavens. Descending energy, as it comes down, symbolic to coming down into the seven hells. As we started out talking about, the brother speaks about this realm here being the realm of hell, which he's basically right in his act. You know what I'm saying? This is where terrible things take place at, you know what I'm saying, if we don't have ourselves together, you know? We spoke about the seven ozones or seven atmospheres earlier, in which that from the troposphere to the Van Allen belt. We spoke about them earlier. So over the biosphere to the Van Allen belt. So we understand that these seven heavens symbolize, you know, the seven atmospheres in this regard externally, but they also have as above, so below, which is the seven heavens within each and every one of us. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, also in the Yusuf Ali version, you can pull up where El-Talaq, which is, I think is the 65th surah, the 12th ayat, where it goes on and speaks about who is the meaning, what is the meaning of this verse at the end of surah Ad-Talaq, you know what I'm saying, which interpreting of the meaning. It is Allah who has created the seven, the like thereof, i.e. seven, and has commanded them, having that you may has powers over all things, and that Allah surrounds or comprehend all things in His knowledge. So once again, speaking of the seven heavens, all right. So we know that the seven hells, seven heavens, at least biblically, from Christianity, Judaism, and Christianity, the place that you will find, particularly about the seven heavens in the Bible, or at least three of the aspects of seven, would be when Paul is speaking of about the three. He said he didn't know if it was in this life or in the next, which would be somebody to the dream world, that this man was taken up into the third heaven. All right, so we know that there's more than just one aspect of heaven in that regard.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I just want to say that, you know, as you know, we continue on with getting a greater understanding of what happens after life, the realms that there are, and the places in which that you can attend based on your state of consciousness. All right. Many, you know, this is one of the things in which that when we get into it, you know, we would like some conversation too. Just don't want to bogart the whole conversation. So if 803 is on the line, you can please speak now. You're on the air. All right. If not, for those that want to call in, the area code is 626, and the number is 414-3535. That's 626-414-3535. 626-414-3535. We would like to get another speaker on here to ask questions, make a comment. You know, get on.
This part one.
Just press 1. All right.
Well, I guess if they want to listen, I guess.
All right. Well, Brother Elder, it seems like we coming to the end. Oh, hold on. There's a 252 number. Somebody in the North Click. All right, 252. Area code, you're on the line.
Peace.
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 Yo, peace to the gods, man.
Peace, God.
Yes. This a rule, man. I just want to say I love y'all, man. I've been listening to the show tonight, you know, and for sure y'all been bombing them. For sure.
All right.
You know what I mean?
I appreciate that, God.
Appreciate you,
sure,
God.
man. I just wanted to, just want to call in and say I love y'all, man. Y'all continue to keep, you know what I'm saying, bringing that fire information, man, because we need it. You know what I'm saying? And as I'm sitting here with the fam, my little son just grabbed the phone and he was like, "That's Dr. Alim?" I'm like, "Yeah, this is Dr. Alim. Chill, give me the phone." So and I was just talking to the wife here, my kid, and I was just saying, wow, Brother L just dropped a serious bomb, and that definitely struck me when he broke down the news. I said, yeah, see, that's something that, you know, that's definitely be over. A lot of brothers say they're not really catching that. They're not really seeing it, you know. So that was real deep, man. Everything y'all talked about tonight, man. I kind of got on a little late because I, you know, just taking care of the family. But I just wish y'all all love.
Appreciate that.
Of course, you know I'm gonna do that. You know I'm gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? But I just wish all y'all all the love, man, and y'all just continue to keep, you know what I'm saying, bringing that fire information, man, because again, it's so much needed. You know what I mean? And I'm just gonna keep on listening, man. Me and the wife, and y'all stay with us, man. Dr. Alim, I hope to see you soon, man. We gotta get this music out, man. We gotta get this thing done, man. They waiting for us.
All right. Sound good to me, God. Those who don't know, there's Brother Heru and his wife, Makaya, and understand that they are the MAC, which is Music, Art, and Culture. They have the radio shows here on Thursdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So check them out. All right. Appreciate you, Brother Heru.
Yes, sir, man. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all soon, man. Y'all be blessed, and y'all tune into the show tomorrow. We got something powerful, man. We gonna bring it.
I'll be there, brother.
No doubt.
All right, man. Peace and love, y'all.
Peace. Much
love, God.
Peace.
All right. Brother L, what you think about tonight, bro? You heard a comment there. You bombed them tonight on the info here.
Outstanding.
So
outstanding,
what about tonight,
brother? Outstanding.
All right. Right. I think we got a lot of information out tonight in order to try to clear up some of the madness concerning what is heaven and hell and its true meanings and manifestations. I think we got into it as best that we could. I don't think I heard too many people ever, get into it like this, what I'm saying, to drop it to this level. So, hopefully y'all appreciate it, and hopefully y'all come back and tune in next Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, First Order Radio. You know what I'm saying? Your host, Dr. Alim Bey, my co-host, Brother Fahim L. All right, so check us out, and basically we out. Because it's a party in the cosmos. This is Brother Rodnetta El-Bey.
All around the production.
Really say this the gift and the message. My music is a weapon when I use it on the reckless. Spaceship hovering throughout the whole region. Open up the sky and take the shortcut to Venus. Getting on my liver, it's a hard pill to swallow, like comparing your religion to it if the earth is hollow. No need to cry there and let it soak in your tomorrows. Let my music soak up all your bittersweet and sorrows. See the sun shining, I lay back and kick it. Staying sucker free is my new way of living. One day we get together, then we all start billing. But the ball that I dribble got me posting like Pippin. Champagne glasses around my organite pyramid. Glazing at the stars, show the kids where we really live. These solar flares got my DNA 12 stranded. Collect the kill trends and feed it to the man spraying. Washita Moors, some of us we been here to reunite the others and cool the world with wind chills. I put rap to the back for a good reason. 2012, 21 was a good season. Fake people get exposed just for who they are. Keep playing traffic in a highway with moving cars. My flow bring the fear of God to the modern rappers. They crawling backwards, kicking men and chest a harder tackle. Ever since the kid went galactic, my center bracket reached the top and interacted with my solar status. The microphone will grab it, I guess it's just a habit. A living legend in your presence, sorta like the Mavericks. It ain't about me, nah, but it's about the future. A golden race is on and dealing with the cockadoodles. I sock it to you like a Grammy in your mama used to. The final stage I ride away just like it's Honolulu. I prove my old school, but since I stayed there, galactic conscious awareness, I got my grades there. See with the eye of Heru, no longer bending knees. My inner chiefs are me when it's time to leave. This modern day crap, I don't even follow it. I'd rather symbolize my name up in the hieroglyphs. Declare peace without Battlestar Galactica. Footstepping backwards on my way back to Africa. The Washita Moors, some of us we been here to reunite the others to cool the world with wind chills. I put rap to the back for a good reason. 2012-21 was a good season. Fake people get exposed just for who they are. Keep playing traffic in the highway with moving cars. My flow bring the fear of God to the modern rappers. They crawling backwards, kicking men in chest, a heart attack and wash the tall moors. Some of us, we been here to reunite the others, to cool the world with wind chills. I put rap to the back for a good reason. 2012-21 was a good season. Fake people get exposed just for who they are. Keep playing traffic in the highway with moving cars. My flow bring the fear of God to the modern rappers. They crawling backwards, kicking men in chest, a heart attack them.
And we out. Check us out on YouTube. Check us out on Mooresville. Check us out on Twitter. Check us out on Google Plus. Check us out on WordPress. Check us out on dralim.elbey.com. God damn it. We out.
Peace.
Peace.